Hey folks, hope everybody's doing well today. Full disclosure, I'm in my backyard. I'm not somewhere in the wilderness, although I certainly wish I was. But going to take a break from my chores and make myself a coffee. And I thought, what a great occasion to show you one of the third new piece of gear that I've been using so far this year. We're already into April, but so I bought I treated myself at Christmas. I bought a little Toaks 750 milliliter titanium pot. Comes with the classic Toaks. You've seen a lot of reviews of these, and so it's not going to be an in-depth review. I'm just going to use it to make myself an instant coffee, similar to what I would be doing if I was out in the field. But I'm going to show you how it complements my cook set, and this is actually the intro. You can just watch this part and then you don't have to watch the rest of this video, but the rest of this video will actually be something I said I would do, which will be, the rest of this video will be just a video on the evolution of my cook set over the years. So here's what my cook set looks like presently. So in this Toaks pot, this is all I carry in the field, and of course I've had my trusted plastic mug for years and a plastic spoon that I use, which is all I bring in terms of cook gear. All I do is I scale up. Sometimes I go bigger if I'm with the family, or smaller. But as it stands right now, for a typical solo trip, I bring the Toaks pot like this. When I open it up, here's a lighter. Always carry a little bit of dish soap. Got a pocket knife in there, my little stove. Fits a canister perfectly, and then I got a scrub pad at the bottom. Now, just an interesting thing on the canisters, you know, I weigh them when I get back from a trip. So these things weigh 230 grams, but now if it weighs 140 grams gross, it tells me there's 70 grams in there. And the net weight of the fuel is 110 grams. So I have 2/3 of a canister left in there. And of course I have this, you know, all the rage with these little BRS stoves. Everybody has them. It's a 25-gram stove. It replaced my pocket rocket. I still have the pocket rocket. Again, there's occasions where a stove that's this small has some disadvantages, like when you're boiling a lot of water or melting a lot of snow, but I mean, pretty darn small. Screw it on quickly. And the beauty of the little Toaks pot is fits nicely on here, because, you know, that's the disadvantage of these stoves, is they can't really hold a big pot easily. They can, but you're always running the risk of tipping it over. Now I'm going to put about that much for a coffee. Stick it on there. And just like that, we're in business. Now, if I was actually out and about, I might have actually found a sheltered place to do this, or I would sit on the other side of this thing, or I would use, sometimes what I'll use is I'll use my little foam seat, and you can put it up there, or put your backpack. I mean, there's ways to improvise a windscreen. I don't have a big windscreen right now. I'm just going to do that. Actually, here's something else I wanted to do. Let's start the clock on this thing and see exactly how long it takes to boil. Oh, here comes Dexter. Of course, we started a little bit late, but and there you go. So the cook set is not very complicated, because, face it, I use a lot of fires. I'm lucky I camp and hike in an area that allows campfires, so I use fires a lot. But beyond that, most people are just, all they need is a small pot to boil water. And because they're using dehydrated meals, or they're reconstituting, bringing rice or pastas and things like that. So, you know, the ability to boil about, so a pot like this is 750 milliliters. As long as you can boil 300 milliliters quickly, that'll satisfy almost any dehydrated meal. But I bring, and of course, you know, this has a bail on it, so you could hang it, and it also has the classic handles here, so I could use it as I could use it as a mug. It's actually hot, believe it or not. I could use it as a mug, but I prefer to bring a plastic mug. I don't know, this weighs, you know, 2 ounces maybe. It's a luxury that I've had for years and years, because what I like to do is I boil water, I have my coffee, I'm enjoying my coffee or my tea or something else, and then I also have my food that I'll eat out of a pouch. But some people, if you wanted to be ultra minimalist, you would drink out of this mug, which just means that you are, you know, you could boil the water, pour it in your bag, and eat your food, and then also drink at the same time. But I think the flexibility of having just one extra mug is nice. I like it. Like I said, especially in the morning, I love having my coffee in here. First thing in the morning, I get up quickly, boil some water, get my coffee. There definitely is a lot of wind right now. Going on 2 minutes. Now I know the people, and in the rest of this video, when I talk about the evolution of cook gear over the years, I'll talk about liquid fuels versus canister fuels like this. By liquid fuels, I mean kerosene and white gas, naphtha, which is basically all the same. I'm not a methanol guy. I don't burn alcohol stoves. I think I'll leave that to somebody else. I have lots of reasons why I don't do alcohol stoves. But and actually, if you check the card just up here, I will put a link to, or in the card, I did do a video years ago comparing liquid fuels to more to canister fuel stoves and the pros and cons of each. There we go. Three and a half minutes. A little bit longer. I'm sure I could have done faster. A better windscreen, and actually the other thing I could have done is you put the lid on, you actually boil ever so slightly faster because you're conserving some heat in the top here, or in the top above the water. This is the one thing I don't like about this stove, is this, or not the stove, but this pot, this flimsy lid cover is almost useless, because when it falls down it gets very hot and you got a place where you can just scoop it up. But you know, I'd say this is a big failure on their part. It needs to be either bulkier, or maybe I'll put a little little key ring on there or something to make it better. Okay, so we're boiling, which is the one disadvantage of a titanium pot. So this is a titanium pot, 750 mils. Convenient size for the canister. It's got markings on the inside, so you know how much volume you're putting in there. It's very sturdy. It won't bend. I won't, you know, if I drop it, or if it's in a pack and I drop it, it's not going to bend. It has that huge advantage over aluminum in terms of strength. Aluminum still is a little bit lighter. In fact, I think that if somebody made a nice pot like this shape out of aluminum, that would be a winner, or out of anodized aluminum. The problem with titanium is a very poor distributor of heat, and so what you save on weight, you will lose in efficiency for heating up and for having to carry a little bit more fuel, but marginally not a big deal. So there you go. Let's turn this off. And then, so I could drink out of that, but I prefer I love these instant Nescafes. And then I'm just gonna put that over. Got my spoon. So there, I boiled a little bit more water than I needed. Oh, look at that, I melted the side of my cup. Every time I damage a piece of equipment, somehow it adds to the folklore and it adds a story. So as I take my gear in the woods with me, every little nick and scratch has a story associated with it. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a quick 11-minute video. This is my newest addition to my gear. I bought it because it's smaller and it's a convenient little cook set that I have. And if you stop the video here, that's fine. If you continue, then I will just continue on for 20 minutes giving you the evolution of my cook set over the years. I also have a link to old videos on cook sets, but hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a subscribe, give me a like, and by all means ask me some questions.